Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Black and Orange Tarot and Political Tarot and Astrology. Um, my goodness, thank you for being here today. And thank you, Kathy. And thank you. I'm here with the wonderful Jen Lynn, who was kind enough to join with Lucy.
And Lucy Cat.
Oh, you do, Lucy. Oh, you sweetie. Oh, you sweetie. Oh, look at that face.
She's eating catnip flavored cat treats.
Oh.
Because she's got her claws out.
Oh, so do I. It really is. I have noticed that you can actually tell a lot about my mood based on my nails. So I wouldn't hurt anybody, but today it was like, no, I'm not wearing short nails. I need the big, long, red ones. Anyway.
We were talking before we started. I was all mellow yesterday. I did the sacred sounds of coffee yesterday morning, and I was channeling a lot of that, and I was all mellowed out. And then I was watching Chris Hayes last night breaking the news. I was like, what? What?
Mm-hmm. It's just infuriating. So right up front, I just want to, Leah Backman, Jen Lynn's kitty's name is Lucy. So I just want to say up front, I know that usually I try to keep things very clean here and, very, like, I know some people have little ears around. And so, I try to keep things as mellow as possible. Today, I'm giving you a trigger warning because today we are going to be using the A word. We are going to be using the R word. I'm sure that's going to come up. And I know this can be very triggering for some people. I know that little kids don't necessarily need to hear about this. So I just wanted to give everybody a little heads up on that. And then I'm also his schedule is wonderfully booked. I am also trying to get hold of Andre from Astrology Alert to go over the astrology more. I've got a few things on it, but hopefully we can get him on. And yes, but Miss Jen Lynn, there was something you wanted to talk about.
Well, I just wanted to talk, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Let's just put that out there because our language may be a little more than what YouTube's used to with us. As a medium, when I do personal readings, a lot of times things come up from spirit about abortion. And I just wanted to say from my perspective and from what I have heard from spirit is when a woman has to make that decision, that spirit is actually very compassionate. That entity, that spirit that would have incarnated is so compassionate for the mother and the difficult decision that they just send love from the spirit world to help them with that decision, and they understand. So they don't hold it against us if we have to make that kind of difficult decision. They just try to support, and a lot of times they will incarnate somewhere else in the family, or with a close friend or someone like that. So a lot of times they'll come in either as another child later when you're ready, or they'll come in as a grandchild. But I just wanted to put that out there. I have no judgments passed on a woman that has to make that difficult decision.
Yeah, and I will go a step further because I am. I know that there are people out there who will, and this is. I know this is. I don't usually court controversy, but I know there's some people who say, well, it shouldn't happen under these circumstances, and it shouldn't be used for birth control. It shouldn't be this, and it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be. I am so terrified for the number of women who are going to die until we find a way to overturn this, to fix this, to fix this. And if you need one, if you want one, you should be able to get one. And personally, right now, I'm not going into but if maybe, but off. No, right now, very clear to me.
And
Women
I
are
have
going to die.
I have a big issue in cases of incest or rape, those kinds of things, or um, young teenage women that yeah, they may have gotten sexually active at a young age, but their bodies may not be ready to carry a child and stuff, and it just angers me that they don't have a choice about this.
Yes, yes, and that is. So I just want people to know, if because I also find that if you're in a bad situation like that, it can sometimes feel like, well, there's always, everybody's got caveats and everybody's got, nobody just says, right now it's too important. I'm not going to hum and haw. I think that some of the more egregious stuff that can happen, the more, scandalous, I don't, big worst case scenarios of the right being abused are minuscule compared to what we're facing right now. So let women choose. That's what I've got. Let women choose. 3 words. That's all I'm going for right now. Anyway, another thing I wanted to mention, if you don't mind me, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, not at all.
Okay. I've been saying, I had a question recently. I've had multiple questions over the last few months about, are we going into a civil war? Well, the thing about history does not repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And if I'm going to, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to take over for just a second, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to pull this up like this. Or should I do this? I'll do this when it's clear, and I'll stand over here. Okay, right now, and this is the basic wheel. You guys have seen this before. Just so you know, right now, so we've got Pisces right here, and Neptune is in Pisces. Okay, we've known that. It came in 2012, and we've had an explosion of CGI stuff since then. Because it rules art and fantasy and all of this kind of stuff. But Neptune is here in the U.S. chart. Neptune is over here in Virgo, and since the founding of the country, of the U.S., every time Neptune has hit a square, opposition, square, turn, there have been major things happening. The last time, with our Neptune over there in the chart for the U.S., the last time Neptune was opposite Virgo in the U.S. chart was the Civil War. And so, but this is a different kind. It is going to be ruby red states, and I mean red states, and sapphire blue states. It doesn't mean there's going to be open warfare, but there's that, plus our Pluto, which is all about power, is in Capricorn, late Capricorn, and we just had transiting Pluto come through, and it retrograded back. So this about up in Capricorn, it being about our power and having power, holding power, wielding power, that's this huge emphasis in our chart. And not only is there the huge emphasis in the chart when you have a return like this, where they're transiting Pluto's come back, but right now, Pluto is, honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head if it's going retrograde or it's going direct. I think it's going retrograde. But the upshot is right now, it's stationary. Because from our view, from our vantage point, it's about to it was going in one direction, it's about to go in the other, at least briefly. But but it slows down. From our viewpoint, comes to a stop. And then it slowly starts moving me back that way. Well, when it stopped, that's called a station. And that energy, it's just pouring that energy. It's not moving. It's not, it's like if you had I don't know, some kind of sparkler thing or something, and you're waving it around, will you light something on fire? Will you, burn something? But if you hold it against something, and you're not moving it at all, that it will have a very different effect. And that's what's going on. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that we do have some things happening in the astrology of the US that is explaining some of this craziness. And it is also saying the most wonderful thing about astrology. Two favorite things about astrology. One, it says everybody is supposed to be different.
Yeah, make me little up in the corner or something, and you little, and share the screen and talk a little about what's going on right now in our U.S. thing that may have brought this.
It has actually, I don't have the charts ready to go because there is, I'm hoping maybe tomorrow I'll get them done, because there's a Supreme Court chart. There is, there's just right here, there's the Roe v. Wade chart.
Interesting. Okay.
John Roberts has a chart, Supreme Court chart, U.S. chart. Samuel Alito even has a chart, that is known, I should say. Everybody's got a chart, but that is known, plus the U.S. chart. So I will say that, actually, one other quick.
I look forward to watching that, to see some of the planetary influences.
Thank you. All right, one last thing I just want to mention, since this is clear this way. Scorpio over here. All right, and anybody who's new around here, I'm sorry, I should have said, this is the basic chart. This is the first house, what it means, the rulership, if it's fire, earth, air, water. That's what this is. If you know this, if you just memorize this, a lot of astrology just becomes variations on a theme. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind is today is May 3rd. This ruling leaked on May 2nd. Well, on May 16th, so in just under 2 weeks, over here, there's going to be a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Scorpio rules the reproductive system. So we have an eclipse here, and eclipses tend to have effects on, big effects on either side of when they actually happen. It's so much energy, it almost like radiates out through time, as well as just space, like where things are.
Is it true when there's an eclipse like that the energy can still have implications like 6 months later even?
Yes. It's, some people call it like a wound in the sky. It has such power. There's something I always tell people, and I hope I've got the numbers right. I'm close. That help people kind of wrap their head around how bizarre things really are. You know how the faster you're going, you kind of move forward through time, even just a tiny, tiny bit. So with the GPS satellites, they have to do these micro little adjustments to the clocks, because time is technically moving a little bit, just a tiny bit faster for satellites than it is here on Earth. And if you don't make the adjustment, the time where you are, it goes haywire, right? So that gives you some sense of, that there's some weirdness, thank you, Einstein. And there's also, you start messing with gravity and you start messing with speed and things moving at different speeds. Because of that, I read in a very legitimate scientific journal, the center of the Earth is like 2.5 days younger than the surface of the Earth.
Interesting.
Okay. And to give you a sense of scale, it turns out the inside of the sun is 36,000 years younger than the surface of the sun. Okay, so there's some serious weirdness right around us every day. And in astrology, although it's a different thing, you get our two luminaries, the biggest bodies, and have the biggest impact on us, and you put them in the same spot, or in this case, an eclipse, where they're opposite, where we're the Earth. I'll use my giant melon as the Earth, and they're opposite each other. You've got the sun shining and the moon, and so we see the moon, and it looks, dark. Oh, and for flat earthers, you don't see just a little sliver go across the middle. No, you see a circle, two circles overlapping. Just letting you know.
Unless the flat Earth is a round flat disc.
Unless it's turned, in which case it would. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so this opposition is powerful. One of the things we don't talk about in astrology, and believe me, I'll get off this in just a minute. We've got a lot of tarot readings to do, but I just want to mention one of the things we don't talk about for simplicity's sake in astrology is we are on the solar system is on like a plane, the ecliptic, and the planets go around the sun, and it's like a big disc. Well, it isn't actually quite exact, because the solar system is not only we're going around the sun. The solar system, along with the Milky Way, is actually going up at the same time. So we're actually corkscrewing through space as we're going around the sun. And so there's all kinds of, you end up in the solar system where sometimes planets are higher or lower. We normally just look at it from the top. So it's like, this has moved along, they're conjunct, they're square. But in reality, even if they're conjunct or square, they can be at different levels this way, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But when you have an eclipse, they're exact. It is full force, both this way and this way. It is full force, both luminaries, us in the middle going, and the sun, right behind the sun, it's pulling the energy from Scorpio, which rules reproduction. It's the reproductive system in the body. Okay. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. I see everybody just venting in the chat. It's like everybody's so angry. They're just venting.
All right. So I just wanted to mention this eclipse coming up on the 16th. So it would make sense. So it's very powerful. It's getting people riled up. It has, within 2 weeks of a total eclipse, solar or lunar, you're going to get, it's going to be very powerful energy. Also, while it is in late Scorpio, it's like 25 degrees Scorpio. Every sign is 30 degrees. It's in late Scorpio, it's like 25. Across from Scorpio, I know this because I've got my sun in the middle of Scorpio, Uranus, the planet of shocks out of the blue. What? Wait, huh?
Surprise,
Lightning,
surprise.
surprises, thinking outside the box, is opposite. So there's probably a little bit of messing with that too, adding in that kind of energy. So now I will tell you the part that you will understand. All right, and then we'll get into the readings. I went looking for because I have not pulled things together yet. I went looking for astrologers online who have blogs who I really like, and Marjorie Orr came through again. She has a Marjorie Orr, ORR. She has a blog. It is a must read for me. And she was posting this morning about this, but also referring to other research she's done. So she had a lot to pull on. The upshot is astrologers could kind of see that Roe versus Wade was going to have some problems right around this time. It was signed into law, or not signed into law, but it was ruled in the Supreme Court January 22nd, 1973.
By the way, a 7-2 vote, but not this 5-4 that we're looking at now.
Mm-hmm. With the major debate about it coming in 2023, 2024. And that's key here, because the astrology is saying it's this year, it's 2022, 2023, and 2024. This isn't going to go away quickly. And that is crazy making. Because transiting Pluto, we know how Pluto goes through and digs everything up, is going to be conjunct the Mercury, the ability to speak, the ability to communicate in the Roe v. Wade chart. And it will be conjunct the sun. Transiting Pluto will conjunct the sun of the Roe v. Wade chart in 2024. That is going to absolutely plow through its very existence to kick up what's straight, what's strong, what's weak. Can it survive? Can it not? But that's in 2024. She also was saying that she did mention the U.S. Pluto return. So it's that powerful. It's all about power right now. Our Pluto in our chart, which is about power. We just had our Pluto return, transiting Pluto coming through, reinforcing that sense of we want who has the power, need it. I have, and it's Pluto it rules Scorpio, which is a fixed emotional sign. So people get really like, I have my opinion, and I have my opinion, and there's no middle ground.
Digging your heels in.
Digging your heels in, and then Pluto right now is stationary. So it's even more about that. So there is that. And she quickly went through various right-wing people on the Supreme Court, which I think you'll find interesting. John Roberts looks confused, if not downright devastated, in 2023 with transiting Pluto. It's gonna square his Neptune and cause some confusion. For the Supreme Court itself, your node is your North Node is like your work order. What are you here to do in this life? You know, are you here if like you see a lot of famous people who have a North Node in Leo, like the great big stars. They quite often, they're here to be kings or queens, or the modern equivalent. Here's your work order. So for the Supreme Court, it's hang on. It's its North Node is in Scorpio. I just talked about Uranus, the big shock transiting across. So because you have a North Node and a South Node. Uranus is transiting over the South Node, which pulls you back in time. If you can't move forward, you can't progress with what you're here to do if you're being pulled back into what's comfortable. And you've got to move forward. So Uranus is back there shocking pulling backwards. So these events will strike at the heart of its reason for being and future path.
And then you've got the eclipse there too, and opposite.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then transiting Neptune is going to be, we just had Neptune and Saturn conjunct. And then Neptune will be conjunct, then O is in Venus and Pisces. Basically, the popularity of the Supreme Court will be further undermined. You don't say. So then we have Samuel Alito will be pushing confidently ahead with some success in 2022, 2023, but will run into a major failure come 2024. This, hear this. Amy Barrett has a tough, discouraging slog in 2023, 2024, and dashed hopes by 2024. Neil Gorsuch, uncertainty this year, mixed in 2023, disastrous in 2024, 25. Clarence Thomas, hints of confidence along with disruptions, soaring anxieties in 2023, failures in 2024, and in the swamp in 2025. And Brett Kavanaugh, overestimating his luck this year with a tough slog and failures in 2023 and 2024. Trouble is coming for these people astrologically. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of kind of what's going on in the sky, both the good, the bad, knowing things will change, but also knowing these people, they might be rah-ing themselves now. This is not pretty. And we haven't even gotten into the next presidential election, because I've always gotten contentious cards around that. So, all right.
Well, we know whether it's local elections or the big elections, we know the Republicans are going to, oh no, there's fraud here. There's fraud here. They're going to do it on every election they lose.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So, Lilibel says, I'm happy to hear trouble's coming their way. Okay, so let's just start 28 minutes in.
Looks like we'll be doing YouTube for at least another 3 years.
Yes. Okay, so let's just start with just the basic ruling itself. Is this what's going to stick? Is it going to be adjusted between here and when it will? Because the Supreme Court this morning came out and said they acknowledged it's real.
So will anything change before they announce the verdict, so to speak, in June, July?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're saying July. I thought that I have the.
I think it depends on their schedule, but I was hearing June, July, so.
They keep saying July, but I'm me. I've got their schedule. It ends at the end of June, and it's these days in blue is when they usually come out with rulings. And so the last day is right here. It's June 27th, I thought was the last day. So I was expecting any kind of, because there are a couple of holidays, I was expecting any Monday or Tuesday, kind of second half of May, anytime in June to hear back. But some people are saying July. Okay, sure. All right. But I'm me. I've got the schedule.
And the protests are already at the Supreme Court are already quite overwhelming. So they're just going to get bigger. Hey, Becca.
Hey, Becca.
Becca in the house.
From House of Lenormand. Do subscribe to House of Lenormand. She's awesome. She's doing something nobody else is doing. She's so good.
She's so good at it. Mm-hmm. If you watch Becca, you can't watch other Lenormand readers that aren't good at it.
No.
It'll drive you crazy.
Right. All right. Oh, and I sent, because this energy's so awful, I just want to say, Becca, did you see the text message I sent to you? There's a place called, a town called Hell in, I forget which state, one of the states.
Indiana, isn't it?
Indiana,
I
but
think-
you can, for like $100 or something, you can become mayor of Hell for a day, and you get like swag. And I just thought, well, Becca, you wanted to, it's like, let me be the devil for a day. Well,
Get your audition in.
right. We could get you a mayoralship. All right. All right, I'm going to pull some cards. And I mean cards.
Wow. I start out with people aren't having it, and bam.
Fury. The fury I'm feeling from these Hell, Michigan. That was it. Thank you, Nanette. They have the best hamburgers. Well, you'd think they'd have the best grill. I'm trying. I'm trying.
I start out with blocking the long term. I have a tendency, like unless I put a real time frame on it, my guides tend to show me like a little further out. It's like people just aren't having this. The burden that the courts are putting on women here, it's going to severely affect the elections. People turning their back on this court and the people that put this court in place, being the Republicans and stuff. The feminine power coming in with new energy here. They will be victorious, at controlling women's reproduction for a little while. The men taking over with that, but I get just be patient. Something different is coming. This law will be bedeviled, and I do get
bedeviled. I love that.
Yeah, there's going to be more legal cases over it, more feminine energy coming in. There's investigations of people on the Supreme Court, some of the judges coming also, as well as some of the Republicans behind this, i.e. like Freedom Caucus, that kind of thing. So give it time. This isn't going to hold. It may be for now, but it's not going to hold.
Okay. I wasn't getting that so much as I was just getting the situation itself. I mean, I wasn't getting like with the justices yet, things like that. I got the nightmare that existed before Roe v. Wade. I got at the base of this is a man and his wand is like, hey, look at her. All kind of heinous things can happen there. All kind of heinous things can happen there. We've had all of these right-wing nuts with all this power. Home environment is a far right-wing message. Hopes and fears. We are afraid of what will happen to women. Now, and here's the challenge, because you've got the people on the right, like sitting like not the fruits of labor. Yay, we got our Supreme Court justices. We got our thing passed. But here's the thing: you stop listening to stories of the horrors, of the pain, of the grief, and the challenge is that it is the your sister who's going to die, somebody who has what's the word? It's not ectopic. It's a pregnancy,
like where it's outside the womb or in the fallopian tubes.
Right. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't think of the word. That sort of thing.
Ectopic, isn't it?
Ectopic. Thank you, Beth Cat. If that can kill the mother, I mean, it's just this, and then you have these little bully men who think that, and they're co-conspirators who think they can just la 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 la, and the final card is ain't happening jack. Major arcana, America, women, big ol' sign of woman right there against this little pipsqueak. Oh, heck no.
To Becca's point too, we were talking about this and texting last night. I think the House did pass the bill to, is it codify or codify? I can't remember.
Codify, I think.
Codify it?
Codified? I don't know. Codify. I've heard both.
So they've passed that thank you, Justin's mom. They've passed that in the House, but they need 60 votes in the Senate unless they kill the filibuster or unless we put a lot of pressure on those Republicans to vote to codify it.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. So at 37, Sassy C had a question. We're just gonna go down the list here. Did I Like Beer leak the SCOTUS brief? Was he paid or blackmailed? No, I wouldn't say blackmailed. But did I Like Beer leak the SCOTUS brief? Personally, I imagine it was one of the clerks of the liberal justices.
Can we ask it a little more general? I'd like to know, is it someone from the liberal justices or someone from the conservatives?
Okay.
They have had leaks in the past of Supreme Court documents. I was reading a guy on Twitter posted like 20 something different examples of when things have leaked from the Supreme Court. I was like, wow, I didn't know anything had ever leaked from the Supreme Court.
I imagine nothing of this level. Was it?
There was stuff on Watergate that had leaked at one time. There was, I think the first leak was back in the 1800s, but there was a lot in the 60s and 70s.
Okay. Linda Sue says, "Oh, poor Susan Collins."
Don't get me cursing.
I'll
turn into a Becca on that one.
Who was it? There was somebody earlier in the chat. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your. I didn't remember who exactly said it, but they said last night I went from the gutter to the sewer. It was like, yep. Huh. What are you? Thank you, Joanne. What are you getting? Because I'm getting weirdness.
It's definitely an inside person, like an aide, a younger inside person, like an aide that has been sitting on this because this was written back in like December or since December. Someone who works there. I'm getting at someone who's trying to rally the women because of the imbalance of the court here and how they're going to burden women. They're trapped, they're stuck. I'm getting from the losing side. So I'm going to say it's a liberal that leaked it. Okay. A liberal aide of some kind. They just aren't having it, and they wanted people to be aware so that maybe some work could be done before this goes into law.
Okay.
What are
Because
you getting that's so weird?
normally the ones cards for me are it's the far right. I am getting, well, of course, the far right doing this, and then the far right justices, and then the far right people across the country are doing this, and we're feeling beaten up. And yeah, I was, but this felt more like someone wanting to push this pro family thing. There's
So
far right energy here.
it makes sense because to me, like, it would be somebody. Thank you, Plucky Heroine. It would be someone from the right more because they would want to kind of prep something like this so that all holy hell doesn't break loose. When they announce it later.
Yeah.
It,
Or,
that
or,
makes,
or to me, it was almost like there's a certain amount where I don't think John Roberts might be upset, but I don't think the people on the right on the court are. I don't think they are at all. I think because this is almost like this feels almost like being able to go to the evangelicals now and say, look what we did for you. Or it almost feels like look what I did for you. Like somebody's trying to get some kind of backing. And I wonder if there is somebody who's potentially has some issues like Kavanaugh, who is trying to get a lot of people on his side.
Or a Clarence Thomas,
or
who's
Clarence Thomas
going through all that with Ginny.
Although he's so he is so arrogant, his energy is so arrogant. It's like I have trouble imagining him wanting anybody's help because he thinks he is. Kavanaugh's smart enough to know that he needs help. I mean, that's the extent of his intelligence.
I could see the right looking at this as, oh, we can use this, campaigning. Look what we got this. But 69% of Americans did not want this to happen. 69%. Only 30% wanted to overturn Roe v. Wade. So to me, it's just going to fuel people to vote for Dems like crazy.
I think you are correct. And as far as who originally leaked it, it probably was, I would guess, a liberal staffer of some nature, clerk somewhere. But I got all kinds of right-wing energy saying they're having a party, and there's at least one person who is actively trying to pull in support. You're not up for re-election. You're like a local judge where you go back up on the, ballot. But, all right. So at 4330, will a group of new Supreme Court justices be added to the Supreme Court soon? Soon being in the next few years, a couple of years.
Yeah, will Biden expand the Supreme Court?
Right. I think that's a better way to put it.
Let's ask first, will he expand the Supreme Court? Because I have gotten that he's going to be able to name at least 3 people to the Supreme Court in his term. So
good.
That means maybe some investigations on like Kavanaugh and stuff, and getting some others off, or somebody dying off.
There's another question I've got. Hang on, let me make a note.
We're going down the rabbit hole today on this, guys.
Mm-hmm. Biden's mad. I don't think you need me to tell you that, but right now Biden is mad. Whew. Could roast marshmallows off that man right now. That's what it feels like to me.
I'm getting all my yes cards. He'll expand the Supreme Court. He wants, yeah, I always get this for like trying to work across the aisle or trying to unify people. So he wants to do it to try to unify people because everybody's getting so negative on the Supreme Court. He's got a hidden agenda that he's not talking about yet, that he's been thinking about a long time. And I get, to protect women's rights because of all the bullies out there. I get a yes and new beginnings on the Supreme Court. One at a time is what I'm getting. I'm getting victory on that.
You said one at a time, though.
Like one at a time getting approved is how I'm seeing it. He will be successful at expanding it. I can't get a number here. Hang on. Yeah, the count's going up. I got the star card here, and that's number, thank you, Constance. That's number 12. So I don't know, maybe taking it from 9 to 12, so that'd be 3 more. So,
well, there are 13 districts that the Supreme Court, and they've doubled up to keep it to 9, but taking it to 13 would actually make perfect sense. One for each district. Okay, what I'm getting, first of all, this is one aggressive move creates another aggressive move. And right now, the far right think they've got this great victory, fruits of labor, look what we did, big message. But then I've got chariot death. So it's like, we're tootling along, we're going to do this. And then suddenly it's like, bam, in response. And what goes around comes around, because you make something aggressive, let me show you aggressive. So I wanted some clarification. I got another, this is a judge, and right beneath it I've got the justice card. So that would be more of those. And well, right now, this is a group of conservatives. They think they're fine. There's that 3 again, but it's happy. It's us being happy. And the far right being on the defensive. That's what I'm getting. So there's a real possibility we're going to go from 9 to 13. And then, of course, that would make the right go nuts. And then we work our way through, and we hit the presidential election in 2024, which will be a little contentious. Just a little. There might be a couple people just disagreeing.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Oh no, you go first. Oh no, you. I insist. No, you. Yes, just tiny little disagreements. Wow. Okay, so this led to a question I have at 49 minutes. So will this lead the other option if we don't go from 9 to 13? That 3 will, instead of adding more Supreme Court justices, will this push the DOJ to finally do the full background checks and get all the dirt on I Like Beer, the Step for Justice, and
even Thomas, and Denny's involvement in the insurrection.
Right. So is that 3? Is it going to be? That would be perfect, actually. Those 3.
Will they investigate Supreme Court justices?
Right. And then because that would make sense because I have been picking up that Democrats will keep control of both houses of Congress and maybe even get a little bit more.
Yeah,
is what I've been getting for the midterm.
That's what I've been getting too.
Well, if that's the case, then if we could get a little bit more, then the likelihood of being able to impeach some of these justices in the Senate, the likelihood goes up, because McConnell himself was like, when it comes to Supreme Court justices, you don't have to have 60 votes. It's like, okay, then we don't need 60 votes to get rid of them.
That's right.
And so,
well, if we go up a few people in the Senate, they can kill the filibuster if they have to too. They won't have to count on Manchin and
yes,
what's
exactly.
her face. I don't even want to say her name.
Oh yeah, the manic pixie dream senator.
There you go.
Oh, I'm trying to find the humor. I'm trying so hard to get through this, because things will improve. But until then, oh,
what'd you get?
Y. E. No, this way. S.
That magic 3 number again.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a fight, but let's blow it up. Let's do the work. Let's get all the details on them. Let's shift the balance here. America's not having it. They're just not having it. We're not going to put up with this crap. Yeah, somebody's going to be asking a lot of questions. I'm getting 3 again. 3. 3 of them.
Well, first of all, I'm getting this little Democrat, hey, partnership. Hey, you want to look into that? Do you want to maybe poke? Because the next question would have to be, are we going to get the, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of Garland right now. Are we going to get the, oh, sure, maybe 6 years down the road, maybe. We'll have to ask that. But are they going to go after investigating these justices and Justice Hierophant, Hanged Man, 3 of Cups, aggressive law enforcement. So the Supreme Court justices facing the government being suspended right in the middle, us being very happy, and again, here's that 3.
Mm-hmm.
And this is aggressive law enforcement, as in, go pick them up. And I also, entertainment only, what do I know? I still get very clearly that I like beer's previous habits for fun.
They're still going on.
Roll the dice. Yes, and it's bad.
Yeah.
It's very, very bad. And he thinks he can get away with anything.
Yeah. He's continuing, A book doesn't change its cover, right?
That's true. 50, 430. Okay, so if they're going to go after the DOJ, if the DOJ is going to go after the Supreme Court justices, will it be timely? Timely DOJ. Like, I mean, maybe they've already started some stuff. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting
let's
you.
put it this way, like before the 2024 election, because that would be the type of investigation that we're not going to hear anything out of. We're going to do it in secret. Get the evidence they need and have a grand jury to see if
And the term chart for this Biden's term, this 4-year term, was just like all squares, and it was between the 9th house of law and the 12th house of institutions, and it was just that's like almost the entire chart. It's just a whole bunch of planets in those two places square to each other. Sharon Ann says people may start moving out of red states. Yeah.
I'm
Seriously.
getting it again. 3, a man, and a woman on the court.
Last card.
One of them is immature and drinks too much. So guess who that is?
My last card. Card for the reading, Chariot. Big. It's actually ultimately big and showy. Like when this hits the news, headlines. We've tried to keep things reasonable, but they just keep knocking down rights for people. Bullies. This is what we've had. So again, nudge, nudge. Can you go do the thing? Then I do get a temperance card. So I think there will be a lull or some time, but then I get that 3 of Cups.
That 3 again.
So yeah, I think you are absolutely spot on.
Every time I read on the Supreme Court, I get my 3 cards. It's like, wow.
Wow, indeed. Man. Okay, so next we've got. Are you still okay? Do you need a drink? Do you need anything?
I'm going to do this next question, and then I'm going to take a quickie break to get some more water.
Oh yeah.
Because my cup is empty, and my tea's getting cold.
Oh no! Why don't you go put the kettle on?
That's okay. I'll do one more question with you, and then I'll just mute myself for a few minutes while I run and get some water.
Okay. So Suzanne was saying SCOTUS. Okay, if SCOTUS is going to rescind Roe, will this help Democrats win in contested red states?
And y'all make sure you're voting not just at your federal level, but all those state people. Because like here in Illinois, we have a Democratic governor. It leans Democrat, leans blue every time in the elections. But our state legislation is predominantly red. I'm trying to figure out, because like my county goes blue, but I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I go like a few counties over and start going door to door to try to drum up votes for the Dems?
Mm-hmm. Just got this in the mail. Make sure I cover stuff up. Your voter ID card. Right here.
Got my new one.
Yep, and it's right here. It's not going any. It is right there.
I actually can walk a half a mile to my little public library in my little bitty one red light town to vote. It's quite quaint.
That's sweet.
Never a line. Yeah, just head south of Springfield, Illinois. Yeah.
Will this help Dems win in contested red states in the midterms? Well, midterms or just in general. Well, I'll tell you, I guess you are, I mean, I know how good you are, but every time I read with you, my cards are just suddenly like on point.
They don't get wishy-washy, do they?
No. I read on my own. Sometimes it's, I read with you. It's just like, boom, answers. Like, okay.
Yep. Surprise, women voters coming out because they're tired of this burdening, and they want to send a message to the patriarchal society: quit messing with our bodies. They're going to bully, they're going to be aggressive, and they're going to vote. That's a yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And on that note, while you're going through your cards,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh, certainly. Okay, what I'm getting is this. They think this is a big win for. This is a big give for Republicans. Well, what I've got is justice. The Supreme Court decided to do this, going super far right, and so on's there. So, what does that lead to? Death card. Republicans bearing the burden, all Republicans bearing the far right burden put upon them by the Supreme Court. Look, I don't love it when things are too good, the cards are too good to be true. But this is, Republicans are, what the heck were you thinking? Kaboom, goodbye. Between January 6th hearings, I've been saying this for a couple months now. Not that I'm always right. I'm not one of those readers who's like, oh, I'm always right. No, nobody who does this is always right. But I have been picking up. It is the Supreme Court ruling, and it is the January 6th hearings that are just going to crater. I mean, the Republicans, the midterms were theirs to lose, and they have just cratered their likelihood. So, no, every Republican's going to be carrying this burden. Every Republican. And any Republican who says, well, no, maybe it shouldn't go that far, they're not going to be listened to. People are going to be so angry. Because the other thing I'm picking up, and I hate to say this, is I keep getting that it's also what's going to happen. There's so many wives, daughters, sisters, cousins, friends who are going to die because of this ruling. And I am. Anyway. Cushbush says, Styx Hexenhammer doesn't think this will change the election results, though. I've never heard of Styx Hexenhammer, although it's a fun name. Shea Kitty says another nail in the coffin of Republicans. Well, I think the key word there is coffins, is unfortunately what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because we have this young generation getting ready to vote in midterms and in 2024 that have never been alive at a time where it wasn't legalized, and they're quite active. I mean, you look at the Parkland High School students and stuff; they're quite active. I think they're going to be a generation to watch as they start getting of age to run for offices and stuff. I think it's going to be really profound what they're able to do, that we've stumbled and gone back and forth on so many issues. I think they're going to drive through a bunch of things.
Yes, I agree.
We have this dichotomy in Congress right now where you've got the Katie Porters that are awesome, and then you got the MTGs and Gates and stuff, Madison Cawthorns. It's like we got AOC and Katie Porter and all those younger people.
You've got the cream who's risen to the top, and then you've got the scum at the bottom of the barrel.
I would like to clone Katie in her whiteboard.
Yes, exactly.
Every day, all day.
Exactly.
I'd like to see her as president one day with a whiteboard and say, see.
There we go. Thank you, Lynette, for the hug. I was just, oh, can I just take 1 minute to just thank you, chat, to just repeat a really cute story I read about AOC.
Sure.
There was an article recently, and I can't remember if it was Vanity Fair or The Atlantic. It was one of those, but it was one of those super long articles that they do. And there were some sort of college age people who wanted to have a protest against Pelosi to try to move her more to the left, and they had gotten talking to AOC, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, she's talking to us, and this is really great." And on the one hand, she was just coming into Congress, and they were like, "Well, yeah, but if she does this sit-in with us, she won't go through orientation, and we kind of need her to be able to do stuff." And so this college student, this guy, he said, but she was going to come to this one thing. So he said, I went back to, and I was talking to my roommates, and I said, "Oh, by the way, AOC might drop by later." He said, "I have never seen them clean that fast. They even made warm cider." So I like that. That made me happy. There are good, decent people in this world. There are.
Rob, Madison Cawthorn has some use. He keeps the North Carolina State Troopers busy for one.
Yes, indeed.
We got all petty on Madison Sunday night, so.
Oh yeah, I was listening. Oh yeah, I never miss it. Never miss it. Oh, yoy. Okay. All right.
So you're still getting it. I'm still getting that we're going to have the House and the Senate. I like to check in from time to time because energy can shift.
Yeah.
And I think that just confirmed, women are going to come out in droves and vote.
I think men are too. I am feeling a lot of men who are like, "Oh no." Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. In empathy to women, but also in not wanting to be saddled with having to pay patrimony. Is that the word?
That's it. Beth Cat, if you're still in the chat, what is that guy's name in Tennessee that ran, and he was like pro-life, anti-abortion, and meanwhile paid for his mistress when he cheated on his wife to have an abortion. So we're going to find out about all the politicians, that are having affairs pretty soon.
I want to say he was one of the finance guys for the RNC.
He ran in Tennessee.
There was probably more than one.
I think of his name.
There were probably multiples. They're more than just one person. So, all right. So the next question is
Dejarius.
Oh, I don't know.
Dejarius. Anyway,
BC Mama. I'm sorry.
He's down in Tennessee. Read up on his story.
Thank you, Leah. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. I don't mean to. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Okay, so BC Mom had the question, will ethical and operational guidelines, rules, and oversight be created for the Supreme Court within the next 2 years? Yeah, could we get some ethics? There are judges all over the place who have to, live up to ethical
They're
standards.
the only thing in our government that doesn't have any kind of ethics guidelines. Somebody was right. McConnell wants to investigate who leaked the document. Well, let's just start with it. Putting ethics in place for the Supreme Court members so they can't participate in insurrections and.
Just a thought.
Keep getting the anxiety card on the bottom. Oh no, don't do that.
I got a mental image of the Step for Justice and some others, like they were sitting somewhere and suddenly just going, like shock, like, what? Oh, card for the reading?
Let's just make them a little bit anxious. I get yes, but not until after they've got done investigations and some of them go and are put out. I get the victory card, but not until they've gotten rid of some. And then when they transition in with the new ones, that's when I get some sort of guidelines, and they'll be watching. So Justice, my final card, yes, but it's not going to be till they get rid of some of the judges that are on there.
Okay. I'm starting to feel like I think our guides are actually communicating with each other, because I feel like I'm getting the like additional and that, and I am getting that, yes, the same, we got the same card there. And then what I have is these justices have done stuff from, there's so much that's going to come out that they've done, but so much of it is going to be so petty, as in, not like, oh, nobody should bother, but petty as in, you couldn't even do that. I mean, you stole what? You took advantage of what? How pathetic and small-minded and entitled are you? This is a thief card. This is take anything that isn't nailed down. Just, mine. They're on the defensive because, ooh, look at all the shiny. Oh, I could have all the shiny. Give. Mine. Thief. And then, oh, sure, yeah, we're gonna put laws out there, and we're gonna do the. Get out of town.
I can't wait to see a shift in the court.
Unfortunately, we might have to wait a while. If we have to wait for the investigations, I think we're going to end up being really frustrated.
Yeah.
However, and yes, there are the midterms, but the midterms aren't until November, which we know isn't that long, far away in the sense of like a normal election cycle. But for individual women's lives, it is eons. But I'm getting rise of democratic power, and then today the Republicans are celebrating.
We'll give them the day, because tomorrow they're going to have a hard time.
And women are suffering. Man, okay. 1:13:30. We're down to Steve's question.
You're so good about time stamping your videos. Every day she's on and does this, guys.
Yeah. I want to spend time with you. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, 13, more than 45. Okay. Steve had a question. Let me see here. Of course, the Supreme Court is foremost today. Will our branches of government rediscover their balance, their constitutional purpose? Or is it irreversible political self-destruction? So the contentiousness between that's, my way and my way, and the power struggle, are the parts of government, are people going to start working together again?
The checks and balances to keep them all,
right,
equally empowered.
Yeah.
They could start by enforcing congressional subpoenas. The first place I would start to empower Congress a little bit.
Oh yeah, I keep trying to give Garland the benefit of the doubt, and I think eventually, he is an excellent justice. Yeah. I remember when he was on the appeals court, I was listening to a whole hearing that they they broadcast the audio for, and I listened to the whole thing. And he was the last justice, and there were like judges. He was like 9 judges on that appeals court, and like half of them were like, no question, no question. And they finally got down to him, and I was like, oh, that's Garland, and he was like, okay, on this page here it says da 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 da, and then you could almost like hear him like move to his other, and then on this page right here, like he had it all like laid out and this exact, and he had excellent questions. He was on top of all of it. He was fantastic.
He's thorough.
He's so thorough and he's so good. But
he's got to be really thorough with this though, because if he's going to go after a former president, you better have every T crossed and I dotted.
I understand.
Or anyone in Congress or anyone in a previous administration. You better have it all documented.
No. I understand that, and that's why I don't go completely crazy.
But when you see how many of the oath creepers and peanut butter boys are saying guilty, pleading guilty, they're flipping them. They're getting them to talk. They're flipping them. That's going to lead to more and more people. So there was one that got sentenced to 4 years the other day. So that gives me hope, because it's like he's building it up from the bottom up to the top.
Okay, there is that. There are just a lot of other cases where. What about Mueller's sealed indictments? Michael Cohen. It isn't DOJ, but Michael Cohen was charged, had a trial, convicted, served out his entire sentence, including allowed to go home confinement, not back and forth, out. Is back in court because going after Barr and Trump and what have you for personally, and individual number 1
is still playing golf and doing rallies and DJing down at Mar-a-Lago.
Anyway, all right. So government, are they going to work better together? I have some cards.
Ooh, look what I got on the bottom again. Card of the day. Another card of the day. Yes. Meeting to kind of restructure, regroup. Let's get this together. 3 of Cups here too. Creating some new actions to get them working better together. Transitioning here, especially judgment and my card for judges and Justice Department. That's because they're working in secret right now. There's a lot of hard work ahead of them. But I do get they're climbing to higher ground, victory in the Sun card. So they will. I also get like Trump administration people done. Like they're still having to weed out some of the people that were put in there by Trump.
I got something similar. What I got was the upshot is kind of moving in that direction, but a lot of it is going to come down to I have this list of kind of rules and guidelines I live by, and one of them is good fences make good neighbors. And what that just came to mind, because I think what it's saying is once ethics rules are being enforced, once things are this is how it's done, these are the consequences, once that's enforced, there'll still be some people trying to take advantage of the situation, but it evens out a little. It's not going to be perfect. We're still in this ideological, I hate saying civil war, because it's not going to end up, we're not going to have muskets, we're not, but it will get better when there's equal justice, when ethics applies to everybody.
Yeah, because the ethics committee in Congress right now just seems to be a joke because they're not holding anybody accountable.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, 12030. Rochelle had a question. Oh, good question. 12030. How will the Supreme Court decision affect healthcare and life insurance for women? I'm going to do 3 for life, 3 for healthcare, and 3 for life insurance.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. It's such a stressful day and so disheartening.
Planned Parenthood, said that they were prepared for this, and they've got some action points. I've been trying to watch them on Twitter to see what they suggest. They're trying to mobilize.
Whew, man, it does some ghoulish energy on the life insurance front, doesn't it? Oh. Okay, I'm getting really icky energy. Yuck.
I'm getting higher costs of life insurance for women because it's that push on the patriarchal society wanting women out of the workforce, and shifting some cost onto women. I'm getting higher costs, and again, anxiety card with it. I had to pull some extras because I wasn't getting the whole story. Healthcare, it's a big loss. It's a big loss. Everything is just sort of image illusion. So I actually get like healthcare will worsen for women a little bit.
Okay, I'm not wearing my sage.
That's temporary, I think.
Okay. I'm getting the same thing across the board, and it's just awful. It's just men, the right wing men, far right wing men. This is kicking down healthcare access. This is like the conservatives, like the villages in Florida, where it's like they love their grandchildren, and they're not going to have to deal with unplanned pregnancies. Therefore, who cares? It should be this way, and the world should be full of lovely, beautiful children like my grandchildren. And if that kills women, oh well, it's worth it for their beautiful, smiling. Oh God, life insurance. Again, brutal. I mean, they'll probably start charging women more. This is far right. This is garbage. This is delusional garbage. And the energy on this, I was just, I don't know if you saw, I was just sitting here having to wipe myself down. The energy was so nasty.
It's all minor arcana. Like there's just, it's just crap.
It's temporary.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you. It's temporary. It's not forever, but the energy is so bad. It's so low level. Ugh. Okay, 124:30. Donna had a question. And thank you for being such a trooper and hanging out in this, because this energy is awful. And you and me, you've always said we read in a similar way, which is we really open ourselves up to this energy, and it's just ugh. Anyway.
Yeah, I tend to read the energy of the cards more than the literal meaning sometimes, because I get hit with the story it's trying to tell me. And I feel like, when you're feeling the cards, it's like you read the energy more over
Yes.
the, like I know the meanings and everything, but I read the energy over the literal meanings, if that's what comes to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ugh. Okay. So Donna Belvin had a question. Will the outrage at the leaked Alito draft of the majority opinion change the final opinion when delivered? It feels to me like it's not going to get watered down, but
I just heard no, but let's see what the cards say.
oh God. I can't with these people.
There's going to be some illumination on the message they were jointly trying to send. I don't get like a change, but I get like it's complete, it's done, hang it out to dry. But there was there's ties to this. There's some illumination of coming of how they work together on this, and that's coming from inside information again. So another leak's coming. Yeah, another leak's coming. That's gonna like.
Oh, good.
I
There's
don't know
going to
why
be
I'm getting
more.
shown that. I don't see any changes coming. I didn't have the death card, which is my big change card, or Wheel of Fortune, but there's another leak that's going to come.
Of course, again, we've got them sitting pretty, thinking this is yay. If it's going to be watered down or not, like what will it's telling me what will the final rulings. That is a bullying a woman into having a child. But you think there's more to come out? Do you think more is going to come out that will hurt them, or just more?
I'm going to ask. Is there another leak coming? Because that will hurt the Supreme Court justices. Let me ask it that way. Something they're holding really tight to their chest, and there's something sneaky going on. It's my whistleblower card. I think something was done to shift a vote. To shift somebody's vote, to transition a vote, something underhanded. Get them all in agreement. Somebody's going to shine a light on this, and again, I get that anxiety card. Like, something new coming. More news. Something tangible, so like a document or something.
Okay. Because I just want to throw this out there. I'm getting this really, really strongly. This is temporary. So, yes, there's going to be a lot of damage, but it's temporary. Far right victory for the reading, and then I've got the Supreme Court, yay, we've done our thing. Look how great, strong we are. But this is undermining the court. This is seriously undermining the court. And they just think, look what a great thing we did. It was so great. It was so wonderful. But they're fools.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm getting there. So whether something else comes out or not, this is not good for them. And oh my gosh.
Oh, somebody just said hell was in Michigan. So Becca, if you want a job as mayor of hell, look them up in Michigan.
If it is like $100, I'll buy it for you for your birthday. I'm serious, I will. All right, because Becca's so awesome. All right, 131.
We'd have to get her to be mayor on a Sunday night so we could have her go there and broadcast from hell.
Okay, 131. Electrostorm had a question. Will the person who leaked this ruling get in trouble?
Yeah, because Republicans are calling for investigations right and left. Oh my, which tells you they know they wouldn't be calling for an investigation unless they knew nobody on the right-wing judges leaked it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Somebody's going to be out of a job like that, is what I'm getting. But you are my guest.
Let's see. Here's my whistleblower card from the justice system. Sharing information. I do get an investigation, asking questions. Look, anxiety card. Yeah, it will be a loss to a judge, like a position. There's changes in being put in defense mode. So I do get they get caught.
Yeah. I get that the far right, they're going to be working together. For some reason, for Queens, I get a group of like-minded people who are like that. A group of them are looking for this person, and I don't. Why on earth do you want blood? I mean, really, what? Who cares? You're getting what you want. You're right. The right's all excited and happy. So it's somebody. I think you might be right, but a liberal, someone young, but it's someone. There are a lot of other cases out there, a lot of other things that could be leaked. And I got these two cards came out together. Boom, caught. You're out. You're out of a job. Yep, you're done. Goodbye. Out on their ear. Brent is asking, is a leaker a Republican or a Democrat? I think we're both getting it's a Democrat, young Democrat.
I'm getting it's a someone that works for a liberal. Young. Yeah, for a liberal judge, like a liberal judge's aide.
Yeah.
Because I was getting younger, than a judge.
Yeah. Yeah. When we're talking about the Supreme Court and we say young, we're not. This is not a 20-year-old.
This is somebody graduated law school.
Yeah. 134. Oh, here's the question. Electra Storm. Oh boy. Do I have the right time? Yes. Will taking away birth control from women be the next fight?
I think the next fight will be doing away with same-sex marriage. I think that's the next thing they'll go after.
Well, because the precedent they're messing with has ramifications and can unravel women's access to birth control. It can unravel interracial marriage, same-sex marriage. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But right now we're going to ask.
We're going to force women to have more babies, but we're not going to let anybody adopt them.
Paisley, I love that. Age requirement, 4 And for you youngins out there who don't know, 4 a score is 20 years. That's what 4 and 20 years, whatever. That's what Abraham Lincoln was talking about. They're going to try. What are you getting?
They're going to put somebody out, try to put somebody else out in the cold.
I was reading on, are they going to take away birth control? But if you've got something else, let's look at that.
I think it's going to be same-sex marriage. Is going to be the thing they'll go after first. Because I get with the birth control, like, surprise, we're going to leave that alone. But, for now, like, I'm keeping an eye on it, but not really doing anything. I get they want to blow up same-sex marriage.
I'm getting that what this is really doing is throwing things back to the states, and some of the ruby red states are just going to lose their minds. I mean, they've got stuff teed up that will make what they've brought up so far look like, a pride parade by comparison. I get that for now they'll let the little women legally they'll let, but they'll make it more expensive and harder to get. They'll make sure that women have less money, less access. Patriarchy, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen's in the house. Queen Staro's here. Hello. I do wish Queen could come on sometime, but I understand why you can't. But I'd love to read with you sometime. All right, we've got 2 questions left. One's about this, the last thing about this, and then one is a Putin question. Are you up for that?
I'm up for that.
All right, 138. What am I saying? You read with Johnny on a regular basis, and that. Oh, Geminis. It's like a superpower how they can communicate for long periods of time like that.
I did my Sacred Sounds of Coffee that I usually do first Mondays with Jody Roberts, and she's moving, so she had all her gongs and sound bowls packed up and everything, so I had to do it solo, and I'm like, I can't talk for a whole hour by myself because like we typically don't do readings and stuff, but we're usually talking on different subjects. I did do one reading, but I was like, okay, 30 minutes, I'm done. I've said everything I can say on this.
Voice is giving out, my throat's dry.
Monday mornings, my voice is shot anyway because I stay up too late with Becca and Johnny laughing, and I always sound like a frog when I'm doing those anyway. So what's our question?
139, 15. 139.30. So, what about HIPAA rights? Are they going to go down the toilet too? How do they know? How will they know about certain things if all of our medical records are supposed to be secret? Oh man, I just cut the card to shuffle, it cut to the death card and the high priestess. There are good days ahead. There are good days ahead. There are good days ahead. There are just some really icky days between here and there.
I get they're watching it on the bottom here, but who, me? Did I do anything for that woman? I don't know. Cover it up, cover it up, cover it up. You can't trap me. Somebody comes asking questions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I get it. I get a no, but I get there's a little bit of something going on where they're bedeviling anybody that asks them. Yeah, they're just going to lay low on anything. I don't get a change in the rule or the law or anything of the Hippocratic Oath, which would show up as a rule or law.
Well, what I'm not getting the law changing. I'm getting it doesn't matter. They find a way to do a whole lot of damage because I've got healthcare. I get cups for healthcare and helping a woman, and oh no, they will find some legally thing. It'll go through the courts for years. Yeah, let's do that. They don't have to pass a law. They can do a lot of damage. And just say, the state can say, there's no HIPAA law here. We're going to take it to court. It's going to be in court for years. And the right-wing judge saying, oh no, we're going to suspend, we'll suspend the privacy while it's under review with the courts for whatever topics. And
I got a follow-up question before we do the Putin one.
Yeah.
In the blue states, are we going to see a bunch of them pass laws, putting it on the books, legalizing it, just like the red states have passed laws to make it illegal quickly, so that women will at least have like certain states where they safely can go to?
Mm-hmm. And well, definitely, let's ask that. The other thing is on MSNBC last night they were saying how there are a number of states, like
there's like
12 or
13 that can, as soon as that judgment comes out, that will block abortions day one. Yeah. As soon as it's announced, like trigger laws they have.
Oh, that just gave me another follow-up question. Oh no.
So will some Democratic states put it on the books that yes, it's legal here?
I'm getting a big yes.
Safe zones.
Yep. Do you mind if I go?
No, go ahead.
I'm getting that we're focusing on the red states, the sitting pretty, we do what we want. But what I'm getting is a whole new push here. And because I don't do reversals, I can understand how this could look like, a new Republican new legislative thing that's going to do all this harm. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like a new push against this extremism is what it feels like to me. This feels very strong. The states saying, you're not defunding this, banning that, and they're coming out against, this is a new push against this extremism. That's what I'm getting.
Yep. I'm getting something kind of similar, like, plans off the ground here. working together, passing judgment and trying to formulate it how they want to do it. I get they'll push it through. I get like governors, higher ups, and I get that this will move forward the change later to like completely kill what's going on right now. It's going to go back up to the higher courts, but I think it's because some Democratic states are going to be like, yeah, no. Well, since you can't tell states what to do, we're going to pass a law to legalize it here.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm getting. I came up with one more follow-up if you're up to it.
Absolutely.
Will people move? Is this going to be red state versus blue state, and people are literally going to?
I think there's too many people that can't afford to.
Right.
I was watching a thing on John Oliver the other night on YouTube. People that live between New Orleans and Baton Rouge down in Louisiana that live in what they call Cancer Alley, and it's because
I lived in Baton Rouge. Yeah. Cancer Alley.
Yeah, because of all the refineries and stuff and the pollution there, and the people can't afford to move away from there. They don't have the money, so.
But also, there's a lot of, we're already kind of unmoored ourselves a little bit because of the pandemic. I mean, one of the reasons that housing costs are skyrocketing is because so many more people have decided to figure out how they can work from home. So they're going to be home more, they will need more space there, and they can be more mobile. Plus you have college students who are going to go out in the world, where you choose, where you're going to go after you leave college. And so
I'm going to ask it this way. Will we see populations decrease in red states? I'll ask it that way.
Beautiful. Oh, Patricia is asking, will businesses move? I'm going to throw some cards on will businesses move.
Yeah, I get, there's a little bit like some people are stuck because they don't have the money. They can't. But I get, some families will break away that won't accept what's going on at the state level. So they'll go somewhere that tends to be more blue. But there's going to be like, we're going to see more of the imbalance of what they're doing in these Republican states. And the young people are going to fight to try to change what's going on. So whether it's fighting by voting or fighting by calling whoever they're voting for.
Yeah, definitely. What I'm getting, the upshot of this, of what I'm getting, is that I'm being mostly drawn to this card, which is people stuck there feeling it's insult to injury. And, you're watching the neo-Nazi parade outside go past. Because once all of these rights, if it's states only, there's some crazy stuff that can happen in the states. But this is just an insult to injury. Everything I do anything to get out of the state. Let me out of here, and legally rights being taken from them. Crazy stuff. So I pulled some cards on will businesses move states, and traditionally businesses are who the Republicans would listen to. And big businesses don't work they're not just in one or two states. They're nationwide, and They are just trying to make money, and this is the merchant card offering their wares, and if they are seen as being too in the pockets of the far right, they end up on the defensive, and that's bad for business. This could be devastating to big businesses because it isn't just the people. It's the people in the blue states could say, I'm not going to buy that soap. You know what? I'm not going to go with that brand of computer or, whatever it is. And what is it? Is it true? I haven't looked it up, but was somebody joking or were they serious when they said it's like there are more people in Los Angeles than in Wyoming, or there might be more people in
that.
Or there are more people in like Santa Barbara than in Wyoming. I don't know. It was something like that. And that's a lot of people buying things. So if you get the blue states mad at you, you get the big cities mad at you, your business is not going to be, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
But they're going to feel a little bit torn for a while. But ultimately you go where the money is if you're doing business. Plus decency, that sort of stuff. Yeah. All right.
And you got Florida that's trying to do away with, what do you call it? Diversity training at companies in Florida, Yeah, let's have no diversity training, in a state that's highly diversified.
Right. And if you're into diversity or you are racist. Okay. 152, I wish this was a happier question, but it's a whole different pit of Becca's new town. CNN's reporting Putin may soon officially declare war on Ukraine, which would give him all kinds of new powers for conscription and all this other stuff. Their May 9th Victory Day over the Nazis is a huge, huge deal. And Putin's under a lot of pressure there's a lot of talk. Is he going to declare all-out war on Ukraine? We read on the happiest, nicest stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't you love coming on this channel? It's all unicorns and rainbows and kitties on the backs of unicorns with AKs,
47 strapped on.
Oh,
there's your baby.
Oh, somebody got the mail out front, and now he's like, I want to go outside. You can't go outside. You don't go outside anymore. But I want some grass. Sweetheart. Oh, it's a whole different icky energy. Yay, let's read on the serial killer who runs a country. What are you getting?
He's stuck right now. I get he's drunk on power. He's just drunk on power. But I get Ukraine is kind of giving them Dark Night of the Soul, hanging on. Ukraine is showing up for me as Queen of Wands, the open, honest, fair queen.
Ding, 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 ding.
Watching out. He's not going to finish his work in Ukraine.
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
I think there's definitely going to be more deaths, unfortunately, an abundance of deaths still, but he's not going to get to do everything that he wanted to do. Some other foreign leader is going to send him a big, big message. Oh, hello, baby. Is that peanut or pumpkin?
Hi. Just relax. Sorry, the howling. No howling. You think Wes, somebody's going to step in?
I think somebody is going to send him a really powerful message like, hey, what are you doing? I don't think he's going to be able to do everything he wants to do, and I don't think he's going to be successful in Ukraine.
That's exactly what I've been getting, and that's pretty much what's here. Right in the middle, it's the only sword card here. It's not going well, and it's not going to go well. And he's been throwing stuff at it. He thought this would be easy. He get this easy victory, but now it's all too shaky. His own military has just been gutted by corruption, embezzlement, theft. He may try to offer more money to people who join the military.
Yeah.
And he keeps working at it, but I'm just not getting, the huge, I'm not getting like an mental image of like Russia and like a huge like red wave, gonna crash down on Ukraine. I'm just not getting that. It's just not here.
Structurally, he's had too many losses.
Yeah.
But I do get like somebody's going to step in and deliver a message loud and clear to him, like, back off.
What do you think, Al? Do you think Putin's going to declare war? What do you think? Do you think he's going to declare war? Because he'd be declaring war on the kiddies in Ukraine.
He would he just keeps trying to provoke NATO members because he wants an excuse to say, war. Now he can go after all these other countries too. He doesn't have the manpower for that. He ought to be running like hell from it because NATO would just obliviate Russia.
Speaking of which, the world, Biden, military. And from Putin's perspective, basically it's underhanded, the West giving so much to Ukraine, and they're giving a lot to Ukraine. And the West has deep pockets. And Ukraine isn't complaining. They're just like, hey, all right, fine. You don't want to put boots on the ground. We get it. But you're going to give us all this stuff. Thank you. Oh, we have a foreign legion now. Really? Oh, okay. Great. Hey, Russia, we've got a foreign legion now. How about that? That's kind of cool. Putin cannot go up against these deep pockets. So I get that too. I get Putin. I'm not even getting he can do what he wants to do.
I get it drags out for a while. Like, I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I've always gotten that it's going to drag out for months and months, but he can't win.
No.
Because as soon as he drops anything like nuclear, they'll take out his whole country.
Oh, yeah, he does that. Forget it. Yeah. All right. So 159, last thing is a message for us.
My favorite kind of reading.
I'll be honest, I prefer the funny petty boots ones. I like the laugh.
I got put in timeout Sunday night.
Did you?
Yeah, Johnny put me in timeout because I got too petty. It was funny. Becca got put in timeout too at one point. He was laughing at us. As he says, I'm not fooling with you today. You're in timeout. A message for us.
Also, before we went on, Jen Lynn and I were talking about Trump tarot readers, and just how there aren't that many of them. And it's like, well, yeah, because anyone who can open up to the energy isn't going to like that. What are you getting, my friend?
I'm getting really good things. I asked for a message and there's the card of communication on the bottom. So they're confirming they're giving me a message. All these people that are all smug and everything and causing all this anxiety and constricting everything around us. They're just robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're not going to get their return on investment. Let's put it that way. Votes are going to shift. There's going to be a lot of changes coming in leadership. The elections, people are going to be very, very emotional. There's going to just be an abundance of Democrats turning out and supporting Democrats. And I get a lot of support for Biden. So whatever his poll numbers are, they're going up. So don't lose hope yet. They might have won one little thing. It's going to bite them in the butt. That's the way karma works.
Yep. I am getting the lesson of Pluto, which is not my favorite lesson, but it's true. We are burdened. We have people around us who are just not going to listen to compassion and kindness and understanding. And they are the poorer for it. It is times like these that bring people like us together, that get people out of their own shells, get people contributing to charities, helping your fellow man and woman and, gender neutral person, helping kindness. Kindness matters at times like this. Being supportive of others matters at times like this. So they may have won a temporary victory that, yes, is going to be incredibly damaging. I'm not going to lie. But it is not forever, and their own souls are shriveling at the cruelty that they are creating and fostering. So we're going to be okay. We will get through it.
It's heartbreaking, but
it is. Yeah.
It's also very naive of them to do this because this law has been around for a long time. So I think women and those that are supporting women are going to come out in droves. They're making plans right now. You watch for all the peaceful protests.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be one.
Roe v. Wade was ruled in 1973. I was born in 71. That law is as old as I am. And then I talked to like Aiden learns tarot. He just turned 19 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bless. He's such a sweetheart. He's so young. And there are people, you were right what you were saying earlier, people who've never known anything else. Enjoy your temporary cruelty, far right, because it won't last. And in the end, kindness will win, goodness will win.
Do keep an eye on Planned Parenthood because they've been working actively in Texas to help women get across somewhere else where they can get health care. Even though Texas claims that that's illegal too. keep an eye on places like that. If you've got a little extra money, throw some money to them, because they are trying to help women, and especially those who can't afford
Right. Right.
the care.
Because we understand there are all kinds of different circumstances. This is not a one size fits all problem, difficulty, issue. But anyway, all right. Katie saying Alfie cussed at you. No. Now he's, ooh, this is the first time I've been able to do this. I have a new camera, so now I can move it. I'm mobile. Look at this. Look. Ah, and.
Oh,
Hello, sweetheart.
up
How
on
are
the
you?
tower.
Hello, good boy. There's a good owl.
I
Yes,
would go get Lucy, but I think she went upstairs for a nap.
the good owl.
her midday nap, as opposed to her mid-morning nap and mid-evening nap.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much. I was dreading the thought of wading through all of that without just having, and I can't thank you enough. I mean, I'm just.
Thank you for the invite, because I was like thinking about going live today, and I had a little time at noontime, so we're both in Central Time here. So it worked out perfect. I was like, oh, good, I'll go on with Autumn.
Oh no, this is great. Also, somebody in the chat was saying that they had talked about Janine, who suddenly had a whole bunch of followers. I just want to mention somebody I know went and was just kind of looking around, and basically the reason that channel got really big is she bought an abandoned Minecraft channel that had a whole like 150,000 subscribers or something. And so but it hasn't changed over the banners and the things yet. So if you go, Tarot by Janine Minecraft, you can go see it's like.
Yeah, it's like when you see somebody suddenly has a huge number out of the blue of subscribers, they did something like that. Something.
Right. Unless they got in mainstream media, that can happen. But if you haven't done that, no, it doesn't just kaboom.
There's so few right-wing readers out there. They do tend to have a higher subscriber number because there's only 2 or 3 as opposed to like 40 of us that read more liberally.
Yeah, I guess if I did that, I could make more money, but I couldn't live with myself. I'd have to. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Can you imagine?
It's it would be like being Matt Gaetz or MTG or you'd have to have no conscience to do it. I couldn't do it.
If I had to say nice things, if I had to say nice things about Trump, my lips would fall off. I mean, So, and that was the other thing someone was suggesting. You could do tarot ASMR, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. So we'll do. And Trump is an idiot. So that ASMR all day. How you want to? I'll give you an hour of it.
The day I say Trump is a brilliant man, I got hit on the head. I fell down, smacked my little head on the pavement, as they say in Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, all right. Well, and I am tired, and but we are just gearing up for the good fight and good trouble, and hang in there, everybody. All right.
Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jen Lynn. And at 4:00, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to do creative sprints. Other than that, I'll be right here tomorrow. And do you know when you're going on next?
We're on my channel Sunday night. So I'll be back Sunday night at 7 Central Time with our usual Sunday night Petty Boots party.
I love that. I always listen. I'm always listening.
Wearing my boots out. I got to get them resold.
All right. Take care, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye,
Hey,
everybody.